Well, thank you, Kim. And welcome everybody to our November meeting. Glad that you were able to join us. I'll just get my advancing going here. Okay, welcome to everybody, both Zoom and in person. I hope that you will enjoy our 40th anniversary meeting. Here's our agenda. It's a very brief annual general meeting, a few announcements in the news and the future meetings. Then we're over to our wonderful speaker, Elaine Lievaart, with Bomb Girls Life at the D.I.L plant in Ajax, followed by our 40th anniversary celebration with a few presentations and cake for those people in attendance, which unfortunately I am not. I wish I was there to join you. So the Durham Region Branch acknowledges the lands and peoples of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation, and a large Métis community. We recognize the lands on which we gather are covered under the Williams Treaties and rest within the traditional territory of the Mississaugas, a branch of the Anishinaabe Nation. We honor, recognize, and respect these nations as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we meet. So, very quickly into the annual general meeting. I do have my chair's annual report for you. So the Durham Region Branch, which was originally called the Whitby Oshawa Branch, is celebrating their Ruby or 40th anniversary this year. It was formed in 1982, and we still have some of our original founding members working as volunteers. The Durham Region Branch's office and library have been open to appointments for in-person research. Approximately 4,000 library items have been entered into an Excel spreadsheet after being checked against the physical inventory. This will be used with the Ontario Ancestors IT people's help to create an online library catalog index to our holdings, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year. We continue to use the Zoom platform, and since September, we have been experimenting with the mechanics of presenting hybrid meetings with some success as we learn the process. Presenters enriched our branch meetings this last 12 months with topics on migration into, out of, and within Canada, the wide holdings of the Anglican Diocese of Toronto, captive ancestors of North America in the 16th to 19th centuries, a Canadian website resources review, Scotland from abroad, the next level, introduction to GEDmatch, the Ontario Records of Inheritance on Family Search, historic online newspapers around Durham Region, and tonight's talk about the Bomb Girls and the Defense Industries Limited plant in Ajax, reflecting on what was happening locally on our World War II home front. Our show and tell meeting last December was a small, cozy meeting with members doing a show and tell of some of their heirlooms and research finds. Our DNA special interest group has continued virtually, but restricted to a private email group for the privacy of our matches. One Zoom presentation in June about exploring the Ancestry DNA website was made available to the public and is still available on our YouTube channel. We prepared several second editions of cemeteries this year, as well as 3 new compilations of small township cemeteries and a compilation of the old Durham County 1861 remains map indexes by township. Our publication sales on the OGS marketplace have done well. Our newsletter maintained its high quality again, but the lack of a newsletter editor is felt. The team is working hard to keep our newsletter going. We are looking for volunteers to fill some holes in our team. And please consider volunteering with our branch. Even if you don't live locally, there's lots that can be done from a distance. And just to finish off, we are in a very comfortable financial position. Respectfully submitted by me, Chair Nancy Trimble, Durham Region Branch. So I would just like to say that if anybody wants to join our team, I would love to hear from you. You can send an email to durhamchair@ogs.on.ca. You could drop your contact information into the chat window. We are very easy to get along with, and I know you'd find it very rewarding. So just quickly, I'm going to give you a small taste of our slideshow that we'll be doing at the very end of everything. Just to note that here we are showing our 10th anniversary meeting and cemetery recordings that we've done, yard sales that we did in the past, church transcriptions that were done by these two beautiful ladies, the booths that we held at various locations. And here's the founding members at our 20th anniversary. Cemetery recordings again can put you in interesting positions. And my goodness, look at the Christmas goodies. The small cemeteries of Pickering Township are now up in the Ontario Ancestors Marketplace. From Ontario Ancestors, they've opened up the membership campaign for this year. If you join or renew before November 30th, you're going to be entered in the early bird draw. And I'm sure there's much more information that will be coming in the e-weekly soon. So make sure that you are signed up for that newsletter. Our DNA Special Interest Group is Wednesday, November 16th. If you wish to join us, let me know at either of those two emails. Our office and library drop-in virtually is the fourth Thursday, which in this month is going to be November 24th. DNA questions, general genealogy questions, Durham region questions, anything goes at these drop-ins. So be sure to join us. It's a wonderful time to chat. Our next meeting is going to be show and tell with potluck treats if you come in person. And this is an opportunity to show a discovery, a website, a family heirloom, and tell us its story. But we will need your photos of the items or stories because holding it up to your camera doesn't work. If you send me photos ahead of time, I can have it right in the PowerPoint, and it will be much easier for everybody as they listen to your explanation. In January, we've got Michelle Janot from British Columbia is going to talk about exploring family search. And I will also mention that the January meeting will be solely on Zoom. We are planning for a future meeting, hopefully early next year. We need your Durham Region brick wall puzzles sent in early so that Stephen and the research team have a chance to work on them for the best results. And Stephen will then go over the process that was used to help find more information in cracking or maybe even breaking down a stubborn brick wall. But before we schedule that meeting, we need to have cases so that Steve can work on them. So get them in right away. Roots Tech 2023 is March 2nd to 4th. They're going to do in-person in Salt Lake City for only $98 US, which is an incredible price for a 3-day conference. And the virtual experience is going to be similar to the last 2 years and will be free. So get your registration in and choose which format you're going to take. So at this point, I'm going to hand things over to Elaine Lievaart. Elaine has worked for the Ajax Public Library in various roles for the past 18 years. She is currently a community engagement associate who works primarily with older adults, where she organizes programs which are designed to educate, enlighten, enrich, and mostly entertain. The other hat she wears is looking after the local history and genealogy collections at the library. Elaine has a love of history and received her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Toronto with a double major in anthropology and history. She is never happier than chatting with people about the unusual story of the founding of Ajax or being let loose in the town's archives to see what treasures she can find. So I'm going to turn off my camera and my microphone, stop sharing, and allow Elaine to join in. Okay, moving on. We're 40 years strong. So it's our Ruby anniversary, which stands for passion. Ruby stands for passion, and that's certainly something that genealogists have. And our genealogy hobby is definitely going strong. At this point, I think that we should go and do a few presentations. Not sure if the certificate from the Ontario ancestors. Perfect.
Okay, sorry about that. We do have the certificate here.
Okay.
Are you talking or me?
You are.
Okay. Generally, OGS, in normal times, OGS would have a representative come out and give any branch celebrating an anniversary their certificate. So tonight, I'm going to be an OGS representative, and Steve's going to be Nancy, our chair, to receive this. So it says, Ontario Genealogical Society congratulates Durham Region Branch on the occasion of 40 years of service, to the genealogical community from 1982 to 2022. We appreciate your commitment to the principles outlined in the mission statement of our society to encourage, bring together, and assist all those interested in the pursuit of family history. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if they can. Oh. Pictures, sorry, people.
Yeah.
Get the flash going.
Bob's getting some. Okay. Okay. We have a couple other presentations too tonight. Not really. The Ontario Volunteer Service Awards. And they have their own ceremony. It will be towards the end of November, but we have 3 people from our branch that are receiving awards this year. So Stephen and Lori Wood both receiving 40-year pins, and Deb Wilbur receiving a 10-year pin. And I would shake your hand if you if you want to come up and pretend I'm now a government official. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I want to do a little bit about our history. In March of 1982, we had 4 people that decided they wanted to find out if there was any interest in the genealogy group in this area. So they put an ad in the newspaper and invited people to come to the Whitby Library to meet and discuss this. The 4 people were Dale and Gil McIntosh and Stephen and Lori Wood. 43 people attended that night, and 31 became paid members right that night and decided that we wanted to form a branch. So that was the start of our group 40 years ago. Over that 40 years, there has been one person who consistently has been active in anything to do with the branch. It's served on probably every council that we've had all along, does all sorts of work with the office, with research, and that is Stephen Wood. And his wife, Lori, has been really instrumental in helping with our library all along. And right now, she's really trying to complete a cataloging of our library. What are we up to? 3,500 books, I think now? 4,000, close to 4,000. Lori hasn't always been visible, but she has been there in the background, backing Steve up in what he wants to do and working in the library. And today she told me that she was dragged along. Anyway, it is my pleasure to announce that our group has decided to name our office and our library the Stephen and Lori Wood Library of Durham Region Branch. And there's a picture of it.
Is that coming out?
Yes, if I can get it open, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, Nancy, back to you.
Thank you. So now it's time to cut the cake. And I'm going to start a PowerPoint showing some pictures from the last 40 years. And for those in the Zoom audience, thank you very much for attending. And have a good evening. I hope you'll hang around for a few, it won't take long. Just give me a minute to
Aye.